Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Okay, so today I didn't know if I wanted to make a video or not, and I don't want to put myself in predicaments where I feel like uninspired, or if I don't feel like creating it, I'm not going to pressure myself to create it. But today, something kept telling me to talk about self-compassion, because I feel like a lot of people are not compassionate to themselves. A lot of people are not taught to be compassionate to themselves. So when we grow up, we're very hard on ourselves, right? And especially for people who are traumatized, and we get ourselves into situations where you're like, why did I even get myself into that situation, or why did I make such a silly decision or stupid decision, or why did this situation last so long, or I could have prevented it, or you look at certain things and then you get angry at yourself for getting yourself into that predicament. You have to be more compassionate to yourselves, look back at it and understand that there's many reasons why you probably got yourself into it. When you're traumatized, your decision making is impaired, right? Like, you can't make wise decisions, and you're also conditioned to attract negative situations. So because you're so used to negativity, you attract it, and when you attract it, you think it's normal. And then when something positive comes along, you kind of feel like, whoa, this is weird, and you back off because it's an unfamiliar feeling. And yeah, like, you have to look back at your own life and understand why you got yourself into certain situations. Yeah, it could have been you were just neglected, you were abused, and you were scared to make human connections. There's like many reasons why you might get yourself in a weird situation, and everyone has their own reasons. And like I said, you have to look back at your own reason and see why you were in these situations where you're like, damn, what the fuck was I thinking, or like, and yeah, you start being hard on yourself. But yeah, there's many reasons, and it's okay if you made a decision that was pretty fucked up and you're like, oh, I wish I never did that, and then whatever, it's okay. Be compassionate to yourselves, and also surround yourself with people who will be compassionate to you. Don't surround yourself with people who are where you tell your story and then they're like, oh, why the hell did you do that, or you should have never did that, or like, oh, if I were you, I would have did it different. Like, and let me say something, because on that point, because there was this person, I'm on the dating scene, and I was having this conversation on the phone, because in my process of dating, if I don't like the way you text, I won't even upgrade you to a phone conversation, and before I meet you, we have to have a phone conversation. If I don't vibe with you through phone, then I don't have the time to meet you. Like, I'm not wasting my time. So I was having this phone conversation with this guy, and I was telling him about my past, because I tell people about my past because it's a part of me, and like, this is what I kind of do for work, and my book, and I know I'm going to continue sharing my life, and someone has to be okay with it, the person that I date, so yeah, I was talking to this guy, and he's like, oh, if I were you, I would have did it differently. And I'm like, yo, dog, shut the fuck up. That's when I couldn't. I'm like, I hate when people say that. Like, you have no idea what you would have fucking done if you were not in that predicament. You can't say what you would have done. Like, it doesn't work like that. You have no idea. You weren't put in that predicament, so you will never know what you would have done in that situation. And especially when you're a little kid, you're like, you don't know how to express yourself, and you don't know what is going, like, because what I was talking about was when I was 4 and I got molested, and I didn't really tell anyone, and the guy's like, I would have told someone. Like, shut up. first of all, you know how hard it is for a 4-year-old to grasp the idea of what the fuck happened? They can't even explain that. How are they supposed to have the words to explain that? They haven't even, their mind hasn't developed. Like, you have no idea what the fuck you would do if you were in some of these situations. So keep your mouth shut, you know, about what you would have done, or like, no. And also he even was like, oh, I'm just giving you my advice, when I snapped on him, and he's like, oh, you're bullying me. I'm like, dog, what? I'm just very passionate about this. Like, what do you mean bullying you? But anyway, so, yeah, he's like, I was just giving you advice, and I'm like, I don't give a like, nobody fucking asked for your advice, and he's nobody did, so shut the fuck up. And especially those people who like have a hard time getting in the shoes of other people, don't act like you know what you would have done. You just have no idea. You can't fathom the idea of what you would have done because you've never been in that predicament. So yeah, I just feel like I needed to release that too. So back to having self-compassion. Yeah, you got to be compassionate to yourself and understand why you were in situations, why you handled it the way you handled it. It's, yeah. Also, you have to surround yourself with people who are compassionate to you, and when you tell your story, they have to listen with an open heart, and they don't make them shame you into why you were in predicaments, or be like, oh, why'd you do that, or like, you could have did it differently, and blah blah blah. Like, don't surround yourself with those types of people either. Yeah. And before I end this video, I just wanted to let you know that I released a book called Growing Young, Mind, Body, and Soul Cohesion. If you're interested in that, it's on Amazon. The link is down below. Okay, take care. Until next time. Peace. Peace and love.